Hi, I'm Yin and this is the Storeys Roundtable. So what is Storeys all about? Storeys is a ground-up initiative created to cause a positive ripple in Singapore through the medium of storytelling. To create an impact in our communities, we are selecting 15 content creators to create and produce 15 different and unique digital stories in order to drive a social cause which they're each passionate about. So with us today is just a handful of those content creators, amongst whom are some of the most exciting and innovative storytellers and filmmakers in Singapore today. Nowadays, with the different platforms that's available to us, with the different modes of how we absorb information, and of course, generations after us as well, the personality or the character of our consumers and our audience are also changing. So how do you think that has changed yourself, maybe starting from as storytellers? Or has it even affected you guys?
I think definitely, when you think about every new medium, every new platform that comes about, it does change the vocabulary of an individual filmmaker. And so whether you want to kind of accept that or reject that medium, either way it works. You don't have to always reject or always accept, but you can work with those mediums. So I don't see it as a big problem. It's just normal means of evolution and advancing technology. I don't think that anyone should be resisting actively against it, but yet again I think it's important to create very clear demarcations on what is advertising, what is cinema, what is entertainment. And I think that's where when you have that kind of clear boundaries, at least for me, I think it's easier for myself to navigate between these different mediums and platforms and understand what kind of content I would like to create for those platforms.
How do you separate though?
I don't think there needs to be very clear separation. It's the definition is not clear for everyone. Everything is so subjective, right? But at least for me, I do have certain sets of means of understanding what understanding what cinema means to me or what entertainment means to me. To me, those are different things.
I think film has become, over the past decade maybe, more visceral and more, I don't know, what's the word, tactile. Because you see, VR is all about giving the user the experience of being there, just feeling the place more.
Yes.
360, once again, it mimic reality as much as you can, as if you're there. You have to be there. I mean, you can't smell the place, but practically in a VR video, you can pretty much see the people around you, even feel like touching them. And even in film, I feel we are going to a direction where films have lost the ability to be pretentious, and more authentic stuff is being liked more by people. That's what I see most of the time. I see myself. If I see that the film is not authentic, I feel like it's not a reflection of the world I live in. And why am I watching it? So I think filmmakers have to adapt to that. They have to be more authentic. They have to feel the moment more to bring it out there in a story. You can't just say, I'm just going to give a nice shot and just give a nice performance and it's going to work. It used to be the old day. Yeah. But now people are more smart. They know that.
Very good bullshit detector now.
Yeah, exactly. Correct. I think he's
I think we are exposed to a lot of information now. We got to watch a lot of videos, a lot of content. In the past, it's whatever corporations or studios throw at us, we think oh, this is the truth. This is right. Now there's so many voices that when you've seen them all, your bullshit detector get an upgrade. So you when someone's trying to push you some bullshit, you're like, nope, that's not gonna work. Yeah, so.
And you can leave the platform and go to a different platform in a flash. So,
Yeah, so it's about the fight sometimes between the platforms themselves also, right? It's not just about the content that's on the platform.
I think for me, when it comes to tech, right, I say VR, AR, 360, I'm most of the time I'm always all for technology. You say you can either accept it or reject it. But honestly, you can't reject it, because if you reject it, too bad, they're gonna move on anyway. So you can only accept it. There's no two ways about it. But I think something that is very beautiful about filmmaking is that we are reading or watching something or consuming something based on a director or based on the person's point of view, you know. And I think that the beauty of it is we actually get to see that story that way. You know, a lot of the technology now is trying to give the power to everybody, right? So like 360, you kind of can choose to look anywhere you want.
Make your own story kind of
Yeah,
thing.
so you know, like even like perspective, like they made Hardcore Henry, which is completely shot in a first person point of view. So they're trying to give the power to the viewers instead. But I'm not there to play a video game, you know. I'm there to like sort of read a book or get a content, get your mind, what's in your mind. I want to take a look at that. So I think that is something that we also need to preserve in a way. So we actually get to learn from people, because that's the only way you can learn, like from people.
exactly.
Right. So and I think there is that beauty in that no matter how the technology advances, we have to kind of keep that core to it. Yeah.
I don't know, maybe coming out, I'd like to hear also a little bit from Derrick and Stanley, right? You two are actually, in terms of being storytellers, you are growing up in a very different environment, you know. Stanley, you're a bit younger than I am as well. You know, you grew up in a place where internet was the norm. Everybody had a computer, then everybody has a phone. You know, in the past, even when I was growing up, it was sort of a transition stage. Not everybody had that privilege. Derrick, you are a bit more traditional as well, right? In terms
I
of
grew up when there's no internet.
You're older, that's what she's saying. Get it?
Shh, I was trying to be a bit nicer about it. Yeah. So do you think that gives you guys an advantage or a disadvantage as well? I mean, you guys can feel free to chip in also.
Okay, I think so coming from a non-internet world, where if you want to shoot something, it's all broadcast TV, and then there was only SBC and TCS.
You're revealing your age, man.
Yeah, okay, so basically for me, it's all about story. Whether it is broadcast or YouTube or handphone, if you have a good story to tell, then people will watch. It doesn't that yes, the form is a bit different. If you, for example, if you watch stuff on video on the phone, then maybe when we shoot it, we have to realize that whatever we shoot, if it's a very wide shot, maybe the phone can't see so well. But it is the opposite for big screen, because when I shot my first feature film, and it traveled a lot to Australia and to Montreal and all that stuff, and then some shots which I shot were a bit closed up, a bit tight, and I went in cinema, I was like, whoa! It's like, luckily my actress is quite pretty, because you know, and then it's things like that. Technically, you need to know what is the main output for that. If for film, you have to shoot it a certain way. If it's for social media, computer screen, handphone, then you have to shoot it some other way. But ultimately, it's all about story. Yeah, good story.
I mean, for me, I feel that in the internet age, distribution of videos is much easier for content creators. Like now there are Vimeos and even short films that can go to Vimeo, and then it's easier to get audiences as compared to the time before internet. And I think because of that, the audience expectation has changed also over these years, and I think it's even more competitive to churn out even greater contents to attract audiences. And yeah, I think internet, I mean, I feel that there's the good side and the bad side. The bad side is I feel that everything is becoming faster. Like audiences are consuming things faster, and then just like consuming it and throwing out. They are not taking their time to really absorb the information. Yeah, but then on the good side, I feel that there's even more greater opportunities for everyone to actually get their contents out there to the audiences. Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys have anything to add?
Jaze, actually you should, right? You're so like new age, like purely internet, like the.
And you
Tell
also
us.
jump between, like, you know, doing still more broadcasts and then also more internet stuff also.
Yeah, like I started doing music videos, short films, then I eventually move on to faster paced content, because I know that that's how the audience is like. Like nowadays, their attention span for like a video is like almost like just 15 seconds. So yeah, like so as like a content creator, I have to think of what the audience will like to build the base so that eventually when I do something, they might watch it, that kind of thing. This is the mentality I have now. It might be different from last time. You know that whenever it's broadcasted, there'll be people watching. But right now it's different. If even you broadcast something, there might not be people watching. So it's how you build that base and how you need to capture the audience, the attention in 50 seconds. Yeah.